straight up?
Dude, it just came over me, dude. Zero plan, zero, like, oh, I'm gonna do this. Like, literally, like, it just happened in my head, and I was like, you know what, like, maybe, well, that's the thing, I already made, like, 1 or 2 music videos.
Okay, yeah.
And then I also had, like, 2, like, short movies. And then I was chilling in Oregon, in Brookings, and then I was like, dude, like, you know, like, a podcast might be kind of dope when I get back. Like, I already had a mic and shit, so, like, I bought, like, lights, and then I, like, bought the camera off Shane SB. And then pretty much from there, yeah, I mean, it just kind of started, like, full force right when I got back, and just, like, this whole, like, community in SLO County and this, like, collective of people here. I think it's just a crazy amount of dope people here, and like I just think getting this period of life on camera, like in regards to everybody, would just be like amazing.
Yeah, you know? It's a beautiful thing. I mean, just making art in any kind of form, like when it's raw and it's organic. Like, I think that's what we need a little bit more of in the world, personally. And I mean, at the end of the day, like, I don't know, I feel like there's people out there who try to be somebody, you know what I mean? Like they're trying to play a part, and then there's people who are like being themselves.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like those people who are being themselves, it's like, it's very, it comes to a certain point, I'm good. It comes to a certain point where like, I feel like I'm learning how to read the signs and like engage people's authenticity. Cause like, I don't know, I've had people come in and out of my life at certain points, you know what I mean, without my control. And I'm like, why is that? I'm like, oh, because they were toxic. Like they were just doing their own thing with me not into their like regards, you know what I mean? Like they just completely disregarded me, and I was just like, okay, I mean, I'm not gonna take it personally because I wasn't the only one, you know what I mean? Like there's people like that always just cut hella people off all at once, and I mean, you kind of just have to like distance yourself from them and let them be themselves. But like at the end of the day, you just always a little like sore spot on your heart. You're like, I miss them though, you know what I mean? I miss hanging out with them, or like, I don't know, seeing them every day, some shit.
I have a rant for you guys, and I was like, dude, like I gotta just fucking say this right when they get here, and this will be a solid little like rant. And the thing is, for anybody watching this, like this rant, like I feel like you can learn something from it. But I'm like low-key extremely heated and irritated and agitated right now because my good for nothing, low life, scumbag, piece of shit, fucking fuck you fucking bitch ass neighbors. I have 2 trash cans, right?
Yeah.
And you take them out once a week and the trash man comes and like picks them up.
Yeah.
Our shit has been left out for like 2 days, and I like go to the grocery store this evening and our recycle bin is already completely filled, and it's like not any of our shit. I'm just like, this has been happening all fucking year, and like minute doses, but to the point where it's like because we have 3 people that live here, you know, and we're like growing boys and shit, so like we eat a fair amount of food, so we're like, we have more than a fair amount of trash and shit, and then like you also like factor in a couple of their bags per week, and it just it fills up too fucking fast. And this has been going on all fucking year, bro. I'm not even joking, like the past like 12 months. And then today was just like the fucking boiling point, dude. I go to the grocery store literally like an hour ago. Our recycle bin is completely filled up to the brim with like cardboard boxes, and I'm like, you fucking fuckhead piece of shit bitches, bro. It's like at the point where like Man, it's
have you said anything?
No, because I don't know which neighbors it is. That's the problem. Like I have zero. Like there's so many neighbors back this way. You know, it could be like 6 different houses. But it's just so disrespectful. It's not worth like sleeping on my roof and like waiting for someone to open the trash can. But I low-key want to put like locks on the thing and put like a sign on it saying like, "Hey neighbors, fuck you, you disrespectful scumbag pieces of shit." Like, you guys don't need to like fuck up and fuck on somebody's like property when it comes to like people's like cars and like throwing shit in people's lawns and like they all like. I'm constantly picking up trash out of my yard because people just walk by and like litter and stuff. Yeah, and it's just like, bro, like you guys have. Oh, and then our green waste bin, the one that you put like yard waste in. There was this one time I left that out and someone threw a full bag of trash in it, and it's like, dude, you guys are stupid. Yeah. That doesn't go in the green waste bin, bro. If you are having trouble with your garbage and shit, you guys either need to like get your shit together, consume less. You're probably fat, overweight, and obese. They need to like call the trash man and get 3 of your own bigger cans. Don't like fucking guinea pig off the shoulders of somebody else and like fuck up their shit, because now this is like okay, what do I do with all of my recyclables this week? Like I have 5, we have to make do for 5 more nights worth of shit. You know what I mean? So like now it's like, okay, fuck, I have to text both roommates and like say, yo, like, what are we gonna do?
At that point, I feel like I just like set up cameras to catch who it is and then confront them that way. Or, like you said, put locks on your shit. I mean, at that point, at the end of the day, you and your 2 other roommates have the key to the lock. Yeah. No one will fucking be able to do that, ever. I think that's just the solution to the problem, because then there's no confrontation. You don't have to do jack shit, but just buy a lock.
We'll probably then end up doing that, but I'm also afraid they're just going to start throwing it over the fence. Because, like, we've had cardboard boxes and a mattress thrown over our fence.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Why? And it's like, dude, you guys are getting ghetto in, like, the wrong city, I feel like. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. You guys are, like... And the thing is,
littering, like, at the end of the day is just, like, unacceptable. Like, I mean, fuck that shit. And anybody who, like, regularly litters, I just feel like... I personally, I don't know about you, but I mean, I'd probably question their morals. That's some fucked up shit.
It's extremely...
It's simple, but like, people who think like that are gonna wanna like do a little bit more. You know what I mean? They're gonna wanna like push it a little bit harder. Oh, what else can I do that's like I don't know, negative or whatever. Like, I try to stay on the exact opposite of that. You know what I mean? Like, I surround myself with happy people, and like, I don't know, I if some of my buddies are feeling down, I mean, that's one thing, but like, overall, like, obviously, I'm sure anybody can relate, like, you meet people who are like heavily depressed and you can see it in them, and they're like an asshole, and I feel like it's hard for me to resent them because they're just like they're just mad in their own little world, and like they're just like, they exist and they still like function as a human, but like they're just, I don't know, bitter, or like ornery or whatever. You know what I mean?
It makes the world function less better because
you have your weed in a plastic glove, bro.
I think it's clean, but that's just how things happen. But no, it's annoying, bro. It's like I'm not gonna, I don't know. It's almost as if they got their ass beat, not by me or anybody that lives here, but I'm just saying, like, they need like a humbling experience to be like, oh, okay, maybe I'm not gonna throw my shit on someone's property anymore.
Okay, you know?
And like, don't. I mean, that's just so disrespectful. That calls for like a tire slap. Like, that calls for so much. Like, I want to like set your house on fire, bro. Like, don't fuck with my house, because I know for sure I'm not gonna be fucking with your house, because I'm not gonna go up on your shit and be hella disrespectful to something that like can't be like guarded, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you can, like, if you have a problem and you want to do shit, just people start with like themselves first. Like, don't go after someone's house, their property, their car.
Yeah,
Their child.
that's personal.
It's
that's fucked up.
Below the belt type shit.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I'm not straight off this subject already. I need to vent,
bro. Like,
but I got some questions for y'all if you guys are ready.
Yeah, I mean, hit me with it. I mean,
your name. You explain your Instagram name. It's Spicy Boy Vince.
Okay, yeah. No, that's a quick story. So basically, like, Issacore, I'm sure you're familiar with. He and I used to go on these like little like dates, if you will, and we just go to Chinese places, right?
Nice.
It was just me and him, and I'd always get it spicy, right? And the waitress asked me, you know, on a scale of 1 to 5, how spicy you want it. I'd be like 6.
No.
You know, I'd be like, oh, you know what I mean? I'd push it, and then literally, I made a habit of doing that and going into the same place, and the waitress, like almost on like 3 or 4 different occasions, she was, as soon as I said, you know, 6 or 7 or whatever, she'd be like, ooh, spicy boy. And I just like, I don't know, it clicked. Like, I just remember being like, I don't know, that's like a unique nickname to call somebody. It like caught me off guard, like this you know, this Asian woman was just like being like very extra, and I mean, good customer service, you know what I mean? It just felt like,
oh, that's amazing customer service.
You know what I mean? Like, I was a regular, and she just like, it was like this little charade that we do every time, and like, yeah, I mean, that's how I got that little Instagram name. I feel like it kind of evolved because like now I make a bunch of like curry and I make that shit spicy. You know what I mean? Like, I still cook with a lot of spices. It just kind of like burned into me. You know what I mean? I make like these little like curry buns. You know what I mean? And like, I don't know, I'll make like you can make curry kind of soup sort of thing, you know what I mean? Like, make it a little bit more runny. Or you can just, I don't know, curry is a versatile food. It is like, hands down, the best food, in my opinion. Like of all time.
It's fire, for
like,
sure.
Like, don't play with me, bro. Like, curry is my jam. It's just like, there's probably like 40 different spices, right, that you can use and call it curry. And so just imagine all the different combinations. And then like, you know, different bases, different liquid, you coconut milk, or, you know, this and that. It's just, I don't know. You can never have the same one twice, almost. You know what I mean? Unless it's like a perfect recipe that you're getting from a restaurant. But like, if you're cooking on your own, it's just like, I don't know. It's versatile.
Yeah, what? Okay, so that's dope. You're hanging out with Issacore.
This was like 2018. 2019.
You're from Morro Bay. You went to Morro Bay High School.
No, so okay. I'm from Los Osos.
Where were you born? Los Osos?
Dead ass Los Osos. So
okay,
on
so you're
Manzanita
local.
Street.
You're local.
Yes.
Thank you for coming on, bro. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, he's from Chico. He's not from around here.
Can you introduce him real fast?
Yeah, so this is Drew. He can introduce himself.
Drew. I don't know, I'm 6'5".
How did y'all meet?
So basically, like, I mean, like, I'm on vacation and this is my security guard. No, I'm kidding. Basically, like, this is Paul Bunyan's like son, and he just kind of like, me and him clicked.
Yeah.
As soon as we met through work. So
we met at Sawyer
Paddles and Oars. Shout out Sawyer. Fucking they make like top quality paddles and oars if you're into rafting. But yeah, that's how we met, and then I mean we just continued hanging out, like dead ass. I was working there part time because I broke my wrist. Right, I was skateboarding in December of 2020, and I fell and I broke my thumb.
So recently.
So then I had to have surgery, right? And then I'm on like leave from work because I can't lift anything heavier than 2 pounds with my right hand. Like the doctor told me that, right? So I did that for 10 weeks. He told me to do it for 12 weeks. My boss at Sawyer hit me up and he said, you know, would you be interested in a part-time job? You'd just be doing paperwork and like putting stickers on things and just like computer work and shit like that. And I was like, all right, I mean, if you want to pay me $15 an hour to do that, like I'm down for like 4 hours, 2 days a week, just to get a little bit, like, you know, a little bit of money while I'm getting unemployment, because I was on 10 weeks, you know what I mean, 10 weeks of just painting and drawing and, you know, just fucking being in my house and not being able to like drive, you know what I mean? I can't really drive with like a broken thumb. But anyways, we met at work, working at Sawyer, and it was my last day, and I was headed out, and I got to the parking lot, right? And he comes running out. He's like, "Hey, bro, could I get your number?" And I was like, "Yeah, bro, like of course." And he was like, "What are you doing this weekend?" I was like, "Fuck yeah, I was gonna go on a hike with my girl." And so then he just, you know, he came on with. And from that point on, I mean, me and him just been tight.
That's fine.
And then basically, like, there's a third amigo. He couldn't make it. He couldn't get the time off the work. But his name's Wilson. He's from Samoa, like the American Samoa island. And, like, I don't know. He's just, like, a very, very unique individual. And he met me through work, basically from working at this company called Work Sharp. It's a knife sharpening, like they make knife sharpeners, right?
Yeah.
And they sell them. So we met working there. It was like, I don't know, it was a simple job, but then he got fired and we stayed in touch, and we just like always, we got along. We all get along really well.
Did he get fired for being too sharp?
I mean, nah, he got fired just 'cause he didn't want to show up to work that early. And I mean, I respect it. Some people aren't cut out for working in the morning.
I'm not a morning person.
Yeah.
Nah, morning's not. Unless
I could wake up at 4 a.m. and just go to work.
I could. I don't like to though.
I just feel like
up at 5:30 every day.
I prep myself, you know what I mean? Like I'd probably get, you know, solid 8 hours of work or sleep right before that. So I try to think about it like that. Like however many hours you work, you really want to sleep that much that night.
That's true.
Like
true.
At the end of the day, and I've been working 10-hour days for a couple of months here, and it's just like I work at this health supplement company. It's in Ashland. It's called Yerba Prima. And basically, like, I work there 8 hours and then go to Sawyer and, you know, fuck around, build ore blades or, you know, box them or make ore handles and this and that. Like, shit that I had learned working there from, I mean, I worked there full time for 11 months. And then they fired me because they put me in a department that I wasn't like familiar with. And I was struggling, and they were like, I mean, if you can't do this, get out of here. And I was like, well, yeah, I'm going to go somewhere else where I can fucking make more money doing something easier. Because it was just, I mean, I'm using a tape measure and like a drill and all, you know, doing shit with your hands. There's certain people out there that have years of experience because they've, I mean, like watched their dad do it or this and that. And like I did that a little bit, but I feel like I just wasn't paying enough attention because I mean, it doesn't come naturally to me. I have to try hard to be like crafty in that way. And now I could do it, but I don't want to work there because, I mean, they don't have enough ventilation and it gets hot in the summertime, you feel me? In Oregon, like,
there's no AC either, so that doesn't help.
It's just fans. Just fans. And basically, like, they make ores that are made from wood, and then they make a resin, like a glass resin, and it goes right over carbon fiber, and then they varnish it. You know what I mean? It's like this whole process. There's all these chemicals, and it's just like not the place to work for me personally. But I could give them, 2-3 hours out my week here and there if they really need it. Because my boss called me up, he practically begging me, and I'm like, I mean, I'm gonna do it out of the kindness of my heart a little bit, but also, I mean, 15 an hour that's not bad, bro. I mean, that's like not minimum wage, because minimum wage in Oregon is, I think, is $11.75 or some shit like that. So I mean, it's a little above, but it's just like an extra check. You feel me?
Yeah, for real. So you are a long way away from home.
Yeah.
What made you move from Los Osos, Central Coast?
So you want to hear that story? So basically,
or not even like.
No. It's chill. Okay. It's chill. I got you. I mean, it's simple. I was dating a girl, and she moved from that area down to go to Cuesta College of all colleges. You feel me?
That's dope.
That one line kind of explains all of it.
Yeah, that one line. I was dating a girl. That's all I need to really say.
Okay.
And so I moved up here. I moved up to Ashland.
With her.
Yeah.
Are you guys still together?
No.
Why'd you break up?
So basically, we broke up. To keep it brief. I mean, we moved into her dad's house, and she didn't like it, but...
Two alpha males
we were
loose.
No, I'm not an alpha male. I'm definitely... I mean, I don't really fuck with all the alpha, beta, sigma bullshit. I don't fuck with all that bullshit. I'm myself, you feel me? But he was an alpha male for sure. I mean, her dad, like, had me waking up at 7 a.m. to chop firewood for the wood stove to keep the house warm
because you're like
on my days off,
because you were staying there like rent free or something,
to decrease my rent. He's like, if you give me a couple hours on your days off, then I'll decrease your rent. I'm like, bet. I mean, I'd rather do that than give you money.
How much was the decrease by? Like $50?
No, I mean, he didn't charge me very much for living there. It was only, it was like $200. That's
okay.
Not bad.
Nice.
Yeah.
Why could you just not cut the wood at
I'm not that big of a guy, bro. I can't, it was a big ass fucking axe, and I'm like cutting these logs that he just cut with a chainsaw. And then he's, like I said, he's an alpha male, so he's like, what, you can't do it? You feel me? Like,
was it with
I'm
the
all.
ball?
Yeah. Yeah.
So like,
it's hard.
If you can get it above your head, then it'll cut.
It's all gravity once you get the hang of it, but I had never done it before in my life. Okay. So it's like, it's hard. And then that's that. We were living there. She hated it. I was getting used to. I hated it at first, but I was getting used to it, and I was like, oh, it's not that bad. And then she was like, I have a career opportunity to go to Eugene and go to this college. It's a community college in Eugene. And I'm going to go and move into an apartment with my brother and his girlfriend, who, you know what I mean? Like, they were all moving in together, and I mean, they left me behind.
With the dad?
Yeah, at the dad's house.
For how long?
I mean, she moved there. We lasted for 2 weeks before we broke up, because that long distance bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, kind of. I mean, it puts a lot of stress when there's already other underlying problems. Like, I mean, Yeah.
Wait, how long were you with the dad without her?
After she moved?
Yeah.
You want to know how long? 2 weeks.
Okay, so I was in a diet.
And it was the longest fucking 2 weeks of my life. Swear to God, it was awful.
Dude, that must have been
Was that
so
after
awkward.
you broke up?
Yeah. After we broke up, bro. Yep. Because she had moved, so we had dated for about 2 weeks. I want to say 3-4 weeks, maybe in that range.
You did.
We had been dating long distance. She was in Eugene. I was at her dad's house still. The plan was that I was going to move to Eugene, and then we broke up, and I was like, all right, well, I'm going to get my own place. So I moved out to Ashland. We were living not anywhere near Ashland, but in Southern Oregon. And yeah, I mean, that's why I moved up to Oregon, and basically, it was probably one of the best decisions I ever made in my life. Get out of my hometown and just fucking explore the world, you feel me? Like, there's so much to see, and I'm not even close to being done exploring, you know what I mean? Like, this and that. Like, I feel like I never really thought I would be into traveling, because I didn't do it much growing up. If me and my family went on a road trip, it was pretty much to Pasadena, which is just outside of LA, because we got cousins there, or to Santa Barbara, because we had grandparents there. That was about it. I mean, I didn't really go to like the Grand Canyon, or like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't do all those family trips. So like, it's still on my bucket list. You feel me? Like, I want to go see the Grand Canyon, or just like, I don't know, the Mississippi River. You know what I mean? This and that, like certain landmarks, just to say that I seen them. Because it's like a bucket list. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Keep it under my belt.
When you moved, like when your guys' relationship ended, were you alone and you were just like, you know, I'm going to move to Ashland alone and start a new life alone instead of coming back to the Central Coast where you were
Exactly.
Why
Yeah.
Ashland?
So initially, I just wanted to move there because I like the town, but then I found a good deal. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna move into this little apartment. It's called a cottage. It's just this little cottage cluster thing. But it was like a good it at the time, it was literally February 2020 at the end. So COVID was like a thing, but it was like not in place. Like, people were talking about it and it was a thing. And then, you know, I got into that place, and then March 5th, you know, came right by, and then everything happened. And I don't want to fucking talk about COVID too much, but I mean, it changed lots of things, changed everybody's dynamics. And from what I understand, getting a place in Ashland is hard to do right now because of it. You know what I mean? Because it affects real estate. I mean, it affects why people want to live in certain areas, like, let alone, you know, whatever realtors want to charge.
You said, I remember you sent me a DM and there was like some things you wanted to talk about. Or
Okay,
like,
yeah. So Chris Klein, for real. I mean, I love him. He is probably one of, I'd say he is the heaviest influence on my music taste out of anybody that I've ever met. Like, he just pushed me out of my boundaries. He'd be like, hey, listen to this artist. Listen to this art. Like, people that I had never heard of. And I'd be judgmental, and I'd be like, I don't like the name. Or, you know, like, I don't know, just some random shit like that. And then, like, you know, 2-3 months goes by and I give him a chance because he's still telling me to listen to him. He just, like, I don't know, he was a music head. You know what I mean? He was like a real I don't know. He had a taste. He had amazing taste in music. And like, I don't know. He in 2017, he lived at my house. So, I mean, my name on Instagram used to be Shaq King, right? I mean,
Shaq King?
Shaq King. So, I mean, You don't remember that? I mean, I followed you back then. Shack King, right? So I mean, there was a shack in my backyard.
Oh,
Felt like I was a king.
That's cheap, bro. No, that's sick as fuck, honestly.
Essentially, like, he lived in the shack for 4 months.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And he was like, my best friend at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, we were, like, practically brothers at that point. We just kicked it all the time. We were just, like, we got along really well. And this was right after we graduated. So, like, I had just got my first job in my life, right?
Okay.
I was 18 and I got my first job. So fucking, he didn't have a job. I don't know if he had a job beforehand at any point, but my parents told me to tell him to put in, 5 or 10 resumes, every other day or whatever, and check in and try to get a job, right? So I mean, four months went by and he didn't get a job. And so my parents were like, tell him that he needs to move out. And I was like, okay, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's your house. Like, I paid rent. He wasn't, because he didn't have a job. And, I mean, he's eating the food in the fridge and, this and that. So it's like, I don't know. I respect my parents enough to, follow through with what they said. And it was like I gave him 2 weeks notice and he was gone the next day.
Are you serious?
Swear to God. So
from like, that point on, want me here.
Yeah, from this point on, from that point on, I didn't stay in touch with him very much.
Why?
I don't know why. I mean, there wasn't like there wasn't a connection there. There wasn't chemistry. It was just like I unfollowed him on pretty much all social media, and then
you unfollowed him.
I mean, yeah, he had disrespected my parents, and I mean, he kind of just was. He wasn't replying to me in the first place, so I unfollowed it. You feel me?
Got it.
It was kind of, like I said, it was kind of mutual. We were both kind of just like, fuck you. And I never really got to like rebuild that connection in any real way, because I didn't really see him at any point later on. But there was this godly snippet. Oh my God, Jaden, if you're watching this, Jaden Grant.
Jaden's the homie.
God damn it.
Jaden's the fucking homie.
He posted this clip where he was in the studio with Warhol. I don't know if you know who Warhol is. It's like Warhol.ss. He's a rapper. I mean, he's amazing. So, literally, he posted a snippet where he was in the studio with him while they were making a song that was on the album that he had just dropped. And it was like a legitimate video. You feel me? It was Chris Klein and Jaden and maybe, some 2 or 3 other people that I didn't recognize. But then you see Warhol and he's fucking standing there like he's spitting into the mic, and he was playing Tekken at the same time. There's like, people smoking and drinking just like in the studio doing their thing. And somehow Jaden and I don't know, just a couple other people got into the studio session just to watch. And I mean, it was just like mind blowing. I was like, good for Chris. Like that's exactly what with him leaving my house, that's exactly like what I would hope for him to be like on the level of, because like, I mean, Warhol was so close to my heart. I'm like, whoa, like I wish I was there. You feel me? Like that is crazy shit, being in the studio with Warhol while he's just making a banger. I don't remember what song it was, but it was off this album, Chest Pains. And it was just like, at the time it had just kind of came out. I was, listening to it on fucking repeat. And then he just posted this little snippet. And I mean, Chris Klein, like, from that point on, I've from what I understand, kind of turned into the Mojo slime. You know, like from what a lot of people know him as. And obviously I was following him on SoundCloud like beforehand. You know what I mean? Like when we were still friends. And I don't think I unfollowed him on SoundCloud. It just wasn't one of them that I remembered to to want to do that. So then later on down the road, I mean, I seen that shit. And him and Jaden and Jordan, you know, J Flex. I mean, I've showed him a couple of tracks. I mean, dude, it's amazing what they're doing. I think for me, I listen to rap music. I mean, my older brother put me onto it. Like, it's kind of not like all I listen to at this point, but for a really long time, it was like all I fucking listened to. So it's like, I have so much appreciation for people that are still pushing that and just like doing their thing. And I support it. I mean, I post that shit, you know what I mean? I'll post it on my story, and I'll you know, if they drop a new music video, I want to fucking see that. I want to see it that day. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same thing as all the other artists that I listen to. Just like, I mean, you know, like artists that are dropping shit right now.
Yeah, that's cool. What why did Mojo move in with you? Like, did you guys have like a past history connection and you guys are like, okay, I got a free room?
Me and him were friends since 5th grade. I mean, Skyrim is like literally probably one of the most influential games on my life. Just because, like, I mean, I'm loosely basing, you know, this story that I've been writing for 2 years. Just like, I mean, I don't want to get too much into it, but it's like based in a you know, Lord of the Rings, like Skyrim, you know, fantasy Knights and Dragons type shit. And I mean, at this point, I had come up with an idea. Like beforehand, I was thinking I'll just write it till I'm like 45 and I'll drop it then. You feel me? So that it's like on Tolkien level, just fucking detailed, you know, the languages that they speak is like a real language, you know, that sort of detail where it feels like a real world. It's called world building. It's like a style of writing that, I mean, I'm studying on my own free time. I don't feel like I need any sort of class, like learning type shit, like college or like sort of thing for those sort of things. But I do see like the benefit of it, like in the near future. You know what I mean? Like I want to go back to college. I think about it so often that I know that I will do it one day. You know what I mean? But at this point, like working and then building this little world, you know what I mean? Building this little empire from like 2 years ago to now, I just feel like I have more energy than I really thought I did.
Good.
You know what I mean?
Bro. That's
you know
sick.
What I mean?
That's dope as fuck.
And so like, just the story is like the base root of like everything that I do. Because like, it's loosely based on my own life. Like, you know, obviously not to a T, but like the main character is loosely, you know, the protagonist loosely based on myself. And so it's like there's certain events that go on in my life and then I just write it down but change the names, you know what I mean, and make it more interesting, obviously. And, you know, this and that, like even just past experiences, not even things that are, it's not always things that are happening currently, but then I make art from that universe. And essentially like every character is going to get a portrait, and you know you're going to get a picture of their house, and you know you're going to get a picture of their significant other, maybe they have kids or this and that. Like I just kind of started small, and I'm making these paintings and these drawings and just like building it outward, you know what I mean? And I've been at it, like I said, for 2 years, and I don't see myself running out of steam anytime soon.
So the story is like a sci-fi fantasy story?
It's like not... I mean, I guess... Is that sci-fi? Kind of. I mean, it's fantasy.
You said it was like Skyrim.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
like...
It's more medieval rather than sci-fi.
Okay. Yeah, more medieval type. It's like with the fantasy aspect with dragons and, lizard and cat people and like casting spells and shit like that.
So for you, like you getting like a new job, like the main character goes from like...
It's not always as like simple as that. It's kind of more
deeper
like
shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's more like when you learn, like, think about like just little things here and there where you like learn a moral lesson, and then I'll kind of twist the story and exaggerate it so that it's like more storybook style, learning the same lesson. You know what I mean? So
that's dope as fuck.
And then, like I said, I make the art from that, and then I'm starting like to make clothing that is with the art that's from that universe, if that makes any sense, so that I could sell that. I mean, on like an e-commerce website that's something that I have to really, really plan out, and I'd hope to put it out probably by the end of the year, if not like
clothing or the book.
A clothing line.
Okay.
Like clothing line, but also along with like, not like a clothing line, because I don't know all the licensing yet. You know what I mean? I would have to do the proper research, but for now, I mean, I just fucking paint acrylic on the back of a fucking cloth thing. Whether it's a pair of shorts or whether it's a hoodie or, this and that.
Is it medieval clothing since it's a medieval...
No.
Okay.
It's more like streetwear that has like murals on it, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
Because like the whole name and the whole everything that like it's based on is 111999, which is my birthday that's spelled out like without the dashes. Because my birthday is January 1st, 1999. So if you were to write it out and people put the slash, like you just take the slashes out. I don't know why I wrote it one day, and I've played with like the heights of the tops of the eyes and the ball on the 9. Like you can just do a lot with that alone. And it's like a little model.
Emblem.
Yeah, it's like a little emblem or like a logo, if you will. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of what it's all based on. And my goal is that one day people will just see 111999 and then just see that and read January 1st, 1999. You know what I mean? I don't want to put the commas, I don't want to put the slash, but just straight out. And so I told Issaquah about this, and he said, let me get 6 t-shirts. So I was like, okay, bet. So I went to the store, bought that shit. I got it embroidered with the 111999, and then I just started drawing, different designs, just so that I have like something that, like a rough draft. You know what I mean? Before I just start fucking painting. You know what I mean? I have like a little rough draft. And, I sent him a picture of it, and he was like, looks fucking amazing. Like, it looks great, Love it.
January 1st, 1999, so it's 111999.
Yes,
and that's
sir.
the logo?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
I don't want to pick that in particular.
You want to know? You want to know that story? I don't know if he's heard this story.
It's
Listen to this.
Funny
Listen
because
to this.
You're like, I'm gonna pick my birthday.
So listen to this, bro. So I've done a lot of acid in my life, right?
Damn, bro.
So like, there was like a certain point. I had heard this story, like it's like a old folktale type shit. You do acid, I think it was like 6 or 7 times, you're clinically insane.
If you do acid 6 or 7 times,
yeah, I don't know. It was like 7 times, maybe 8. I don't know. There was just, one of those bullshit stories that you kind of just hear like word of mouth.
Do you want to take that shot?
Not right now, but I will.
Okay,
I will.
Okay.
Goddamn, yeah. What the fuck was I saying? Goddamn it.
You said
the story about why you chose that.
Take it. If you take
the reason. So the reason why it's 111999 is because I had lost my mind at that point. I had done acid enough times where I had felt like I had my mental stability lost, and then it was like I had to come back from it, and this was all over the process of mourning the death of my brother, and breaking up with there was a girl that I was dating that we broke up, and then there was just I was meeting Kiana, that girl that I moved up to Oregon, yeah, with. And so yeah, fucking it just, there was a lot of shit going on in my life and I didn't know how to process it, and I just felt like I had lost my shit like up until that point. And I had literally convinced myself that I was the Antichrist because of my own birthday. Because it felt like weird. Once I had realized the 111999 shit, and just like January 1st, like the first, I don't know if I was the first baby of the year, but like, that whole, like it almost sounds like a prophecy. You know what I mean? I had just lost my own like grip of reality, and then I came back from it and I was like, oh, that was fucking stupid. Obviously I'm not the Antichrist. I think there's just like so many reasons that like I don't even really believe in that shit. You know what I mean? I don't fucking believe that the Antichrist exists. I don't think he ever really will. I'm not a Christian personally, but I was raised that way. I was raised Christian. I like from as early as I can remember until 9th grade in high school, I stopped being I just stopped going to church. All that shit. What? What, bro?
So you did,
spit it out.
Yeah, I'm trying. So you did acid. So when you lost your mind, how did you find it? Or you said you found it?
I stopped doing acid. That's how I fucking found my mind.
Okay.
That's
what
just
did it feel like when you were on acid and you saw like the numbers and you're like, oh my god, the 1s and the 9s?
Well, like I drew the numbers. That's what it was. I was just kind of, you know what I mean? Like I've been drawing like my whole life, pretty much at the earliest age. Quick story, I fucking played t-ball, right? You feel me? I'm going to catch the ball goes right over my fucking face and hits me and giving me a black eye, right?
Damn.
I was on the way home, I told my mom, I do not want to do sports. Don't put me in sports. She said, alright, if you don't want to be an athlete, then you'll be an artist. Like that, she just started, she said it straight up, and she was like, well then, I'll put you in, paint classes, you can take dance classes, you can take this and that, you know what I mean? Like, my cousins down in Pasadena, they were running like a kids movie camp sort of shit, you feel me? Like, you make a short film on camera, but you're playing a part. You're making a story up as a group. It was like fucking 19 third graders. You know what I mean? It's just like this wacky story that's just like, you know what I mean? Just exactly what you would expect third graders to come up with. And it was an interesting life experience. I feel like I gained so much from it, and then like I missed out in high school because I feel like I might have excelled in theater. I might have liked that aspect of things, but now that I'm living in Ashland, which like anybody who's watching this who knows anything about Ashland knows that
Shakespeare Festival.
It's like really well known for the Shakespeare Festival. They have like 4 or 5 different theaters where it's like a big, like open, stadium type shit, and it's just it's just amphitheater. Yeah. And it's literally just like, a platform in the front, and they do plays there. And I mean, COVID fucked their shit up, but they're starting to do it now. They're like bringing it back. They're doing plays right now, but I actually been meaning to take my fucking coworker there. He's about 65. His birthday's coming up on the 28th. I'm gonna bake him a turnover. I'm gonna take him to that theater, because he told me, he said he always wanted to go, but he never had anybody to go with. And I was like, well, your birthday's coming up, why don't we go? And he was like, oh, I don't really do anything for my birthday. I'm like, for me personally, bro, I like to do a little something special. Anything. I mean, just anything. Just a little something special. This year I went to the coast, because where I'm living at is 3 hours from the coast. So I visited the ocean. I just, it rained heavy. It was perfect. And then I made my way back, like to where I was, to Ashland. I was just thinking, like, I don't know. I don't love the ocean, bro. Like, I don't know. That's not the. I like the forest and the mountain and shit like that. I don't know. I forgot where I was fucking going with that.
You were saying.
Fucking A.
I was like the 1-1. I still have questions about the 1-1-1-9-9-9.
Tell me
I asked
more.
you, like,
yeah.
You were like, I was like, how did you lose your mind or whatever? And then you were like, you stopped doing acid, you found it, and then you were like, oh, like I was playing t-ball, and then you started talking about how your mom made you become like an artist.
No. I've been drawing. Oh fuck! I totally went on a fat side tangent. My bad, homie.
No, you're chilling.
Anyways, I do a lot of art. I do every kind of form that I can find. I feel very like it comes naturally. It's my thing. And obviously not every form, like I can't play a damn instrument for shit, but like, I don't know, just it's a part of me. And I remember at a certain part of myself, like when I had lost myself, I was not doing art. You know what I mean? Like I was just, I had turned into somebody else. There was a heavy point. You ever heard of PSVR? You know what VR is.
PSVR, virtual reality?
Yeah. It's for the PS, the PlayStation.
Okay.
So it's literally like I had Skyrim, right? So like I mentioned this point in my life earlier on, just maybe 15 minutes ago. It was literally like my brother died, which he passed away in 2017, and
who's your brother?
So my brother was a local. He grew up in the area. His name was Michael Watson, and I mean,
how old is he?
He would be 31.
Okay.
He's a little older. He was 8 years older than me, no, he'd be 30. He'd be 30. I'm 22, so he'd be 30. But yeah, I mean, he had a heavy influence on my life too. Him and Chris. That's why I wanted to talk about them too. That's why I'd sent it. You brought up that DM. Yeah, so, I mean, they had a relationship. You know what I mean? Like, those two, they had their own thing going on, because I remember my brother used to front Chris O's just to sell, to the homies. He'd sell it. He'd give them an ounce for 20, not $20, like $40. You know what I mean? Like, it was not maybe the best weed, but like, it was just on the low. You know what I mean? It was just like, my brother had enough, and it was like, Chris at that point, like I said, he was practically another brother of mine. You know what I mean? Like, he had died right around the time that Chris was living there. And you know what I mean? It was just like all this different shit. Like, they had their own relationship, and then they, you know, come to find out this last February that Chris had killed himself. And I mean, that shit fucked me up. You know what I mean? Like, it was such a shock to me. Like, we had scares. You feel me? Like, there was certain points where I had felt like he was in a dark place and he was very depressed, and he had tried to kill himself at certain points. But it was like, I always had the best of hope for him. I was always like, oh, he'll be fine though. He'll be fine though. And, you know, come to find out he's not fine. It broke my heart. You know what I mean? And obviously, I mean, I just started listening to his music like all the time. Shout out Mojo the Slime, just because, like, literally he was like such a kind person when he wanted to be. And he wanted to be 80% of the time. You know what I mean? And I know that because, I mean, like I said, I lived with him. We used to crash in the shack together. You know what I mean? It was 2 couches. I'd just pass out on the other one.
That's
it. You know, I'd pass out on the chair or this and that. Like, I don't know. It was like, we went from that to complete isolation. You know what I mean? It was like we weren't talking. He moved out, and we were on 0 terms. But then what was the other? I'm trying to remember that DM. It was Chris,
your brother. Those are the 2 like most important things to me.
Yeah.
I saw some stuff you didn't want to talk about, which is like politics and COVID.
Yeah, no,
and that's I mean, we don't even. I mean,
I just seen I seen Ricky Hasty on it.
Yeah.
I seen a clip of Ricky Hasty on
Insta?
Yeah, I've seen all the Instagram, almost pretty much all the Instagram clips, and
there's a lot of other stuff in Ricky's podcast that's total. I mean, 95% of it wasn't.
Yeah, I know that he touched on. I'm sure he touched on politics. It just felt
a little bit, yeah.
It felt like, to me, I was like, when I go on, I don't.
Yeah.
Like, personally.
Good for you, bro.
And I don't. I respect him for talking. I mean,
it's all a game. It's all a game that somebody else is telling you to play at like their speed.
It's just, I mean,
but
it is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is.
When was the last time you did acid?
Summer solstice. Yeah.
This year?
Summer solstice. No, 2 weeks after the summer solstice with Wilson the Samoan.
When was summer solstice? Summer?
I think it was July 18th or something like that. June 18th. One of those.
Okay.
I get June and July mixed up still. I'm kind of retarded. You feel me?
You look like you're out of the movie. You literally look like a honestly like a Quentin Tarantino character. A Quentin Tarantino character.
I don't know why you're trying to gas me up so hard right now, but like
have you gotten that before?
Never.
Really?
Never gotten you look like from a movie? No.
It's like the glasses.
I've been told like that I look good. I mean like my mom always pushed to like look good. I don't know what like that influenced my life heavily too. You feel me? Like my mom was just kind of like putting me in, you know, like Ralph Lauren and like Tommy Hilfiger and like Abercrombie and Fitch, and you know what I mean, like these brands that I felt like weren't my style.
Some spicy boy shit.
Yeah, I was like, no hate on anybody who wears that shit, but it just didn't feel like me at first.
Yeah.
But then I just, you know what I mean? It's my mom, so obviously it just became a part of me. And now, I mean, I have a lot of respect for those brands. They're, you know, they have good shit. They have stuff that's on every shelf in America, but they also have other stuff that's like more exclusive. It's more expensive, but it's like, you know, they only made 800 of them or some shit like that. It's like, I don't know. I became like fully conscious and like aware of being a fashionista, if that makes any sense, like through COVID. Because COVID, I mean, quarantine and shit like that, you learn so much about, I at least personally learned a lot about myself. I picked up about like 8 hobbies and just been more productive because I had to spend so much more time alone. On top of, like I said, I was living alone. I was living in my own apartment, and I was 10 hours from my parents, and I was, I think, 6 or 8 hours from my sister who lives in Washington. You know what I mean? Like I was pretty isolated, and I'm sure my parents worried about me a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, how is he doing? Because I wouldn't, obviously, I mean, I don't talk to my parents every single day, but like, it just felt like, I don't know, a real learning experience. I picked up this like whole past year, like I said, I moved in to my apartment like 2 weeks before COVID started, so it was like really a huge jump for me to go from like living alone on your own, like that is a challenge. Then COVID, you know what I mean? Like having to live alone and stay home. You know what I mean? I felt like I was a danger to public if I went on a hike.
You felt like you were?
At certain points in my life, yeah. I mean, certain points of the year, yeah, I did feel like that because that's kind of the atmosphere of Ashland. It is very liberal. There is a lot of left-leaning people, which, I mean, they're very, like, I don't know how to describe it right now, but, like, because I'm not trying to get political, but it's just, like, there's a certain atmosphere there where I felt like I should stay home because I know everyone was wearing them. You know what I mean? It was, like, it was just heavily enforced, and so I felt like I should play it by the rules. And like I said, I mean, I spent a lot of time at home writing and drawing, and at a very early point on, I was like, I'm done playing video games just altogether because it doesn't feel like a productive thing to do. So I was like, I'm gonna fill all of my free time with work and, like I said, cooking. Like I'll do all kinds of shit in the kitchen, or I'm painting or writing, or like I do like watch shit sometimes, like, you know what I mean, like Netflix, Hulu, whatever, that sort of thing, but it's usually with other people. Like I do that with, like, if I'm kicking it with other like homies, then I'm like, yeah, let's watch Letterkenny on Hulu or some shit like that. But like, I don't watch shit alone. And I watch YouTube videos here and there, but I do that. I mean, you can watch like a 10-minute video and then watch a 15-minute video like on a lunch break, or, you know, this and that. You know, it's I don't feel like I'm watching a streaming service when I watch a YouTube video, so it doesn't feel the same. It's kind of that was the only point I was gonna make on that.
When you came here to visit, did you hit up any like people that still lived here that you like needed to see again and shit like that? In
this area, because I was staying only for one day, and I also needed to show him up.
Yeah.
Around, you know, just the whole area. I hit up very seldom people that I normally
needed to see.
Yeah, like I mean, it's a lot of family, and then we pre-game before we showed up here at Keith Morrison's house. I mean, he's probably one of my closest friends. When I told him that I was living at my ex-girlfriend's house, where it was on 18 acres and it didn't have reception, and we were on a limited Wi-Fi data plan type shit, so we couldn't be on our phones, so he sent me like this little Gundam kit, which, like, shout out his Instagram. I don't know what it is, but you should put it, you know, in the link or whatever. He has like an Instagram where he takes pictures of his model Gundams, and they're like little Transformers that are Japanese style, if you will. You feel me? Like, it
They're big
looks,
robots.
They're little robots that are models of these big robots that are from anime that you know, fight in space and shit like that.
He sent you one.
He sent me 3.
So you saw him today?
Yeah, I mean,
Nice.
yeah, we went there for a good minute. Fuck, what else did we do today? I don't remember
You're
right
chill,
now.
bro. You're chill.
We went to the cafe and the coast.
Yeah, we went to Hungry Fisherman because, I mean, that's a good diner in
Breakfast.
the area. Yeah, breakfast food. Then we went to Green Goddess. Shout out Melissa for that. I mean, Melissa Martinez. I went to high school with her. She was in my grade. Do you remember her?
If
Melissa
it's
Martinez.
she kind of looks like more white than Mexican, right?
Yeah, that's one of yeah. So I mean, they opened up her and her stepsister opened up a shop on the Embarcadero. It's like a little cafe, smoothie bar, not cafe, more kind of more like a smoothie bar that sells coffees and, you know, shit like that. So I popped in there. Cassandra Rivas, she's another girl that's in my grade. She like makes these little scarves and little she knits things, right? And so I seen her posting that shit, and I was like, let me get a scarf, right? So she you know, asked me what color and, you know, this and that. So then I was like, I'll make you a little drawing. So I asked her what she liked. She said squirrels and bees, and I was like, okay, I'll go down to the river where I know there is squirrels and bees. I've seen that shit just sitting by the creek in Ashland. So I did that. I did a little rough draft and then hit her up, sent a picture of it. She goes, oh, that's so super cute. Like, I haven't gotten started on your scarf at all. Like, oh, like, I feel so bad. And I was like, oh, like, don't trip. Like, I definitely procrastinate on this, and like, I keep saying this and that. I'm gonna stop saying that. But I mean, I've procrastinated on different projects here and there a lot. So I totally understand the creative process for, you know, different people is completely different. So I was like, don't trip on time. Like, I'm not pressed about this knitted scarf for me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna push you about it. And so then she sent me a picture of it when it was done, and I was like, this is amazing. I started a painting for you. That's the second draft of the drawing. So basically I drew it, you know what I mean? And then drawing and painting are very easily translatable. So I just painted what I drew.
Well, you put some of your artwork on your like Instagram so we can see it.
On my Instagram,
Yeah.
I won't, but I have made an art Instagram that has the link to my Etsy. It's called Gideon's. I mean, we could shout that out. It's literally just at GYDIANS, Gideon, who is the main character of the story. Gideon's shop is kind of the little, like, Etsy shop that I opened up with the prints, like you can make prints obviously of paintings. So I sell the prints on there.
I'm also trying to see some of these prints on like your main Instagram or like
My
a
main
side
one?
Or like a side Instagram or some shit.
Well, like I'm saying,
you're
I have the side Instagram.
You have to go on
I
this
have
side
it.
Instagram and then click this link, and then I'm like, okay, like I might click the link, but I also want to see all this shit on your side Instagram before I click the link.
I think I have like 4 posts, so I really just like need to get on top of my shit and start posting more shit.
On your main Instagram, you only have a couple photos, right?
Yeah. So I mean,
What's stopping you from posting one like tomorrow?
You want to know what's stopping me? I don't feel like it's an appropriate platform for that. I want to build that Gideon's Instagram. I'm trying to build that because I have the Etsy and the link in the bio so that I can build like a little bit of an empire off Etsy, which is an easier app to use. But your audience is skewed because not everybody has Etsy.
Mm-hmm.
The goal is to have a website so that I can then have, my own domain on the internet, and then you can link that to an Instagram. And so I'm sure you've seen this, even just famous brands like fucking Gucci and shit, it just says visit shop. It just says visit shop. You know what I mean? It's a little bubble that they have on their profile, and you pull it up and it's got all their shit that's that's in stock and the prices and this and that. You just order it through Instagram. So the goal is to have like an Instagram shop of the clothing that's from the artwork that's from the story. And then like I forgot that I was saying the goal was to come out with that story when I'm 45 and have been writing it for a minute, but the goal now is to come out with issues similar to a manga. I'm not gonna have that much artwork, but I'll have more artwork than say your average shit. You know what I mean? It's like gonna be kind of a graphic novel, if you will. And it'll probably be 10, 15 volumes of like 100-page books that have a bunch of artwork from the scenes that are being written, that are from the paragraphs. And I think it's not without of my range of possibility to put out books. I want to be an author before I die. If you know what I mean. If
you look like an author.
Like
1,000%.
I try to see it as like art is so versatile, but like writing a book is kind of like super classic. Like that is probably the earliest forms of art, because even, like writing a story can have art in it. You know what I mean? Like hieroglyphics are a form of art.
Before that.
What?
Before writing. There was art before writing.
Well, yeah, there was art before writing, but I almost... fuck.
You're good.
Fuck. I almost feel like they kind of just go hand in hand, or at least they should go hand in hand, because, it's just that much better. I like to have that mental image in your head. I get that. But you can have pictures of things and then still have your mental image that's, based off of those pictures.
I'm down to go for 10 more minutes if you guys are.
Yeah.
Okay, dope. Let's just to kind of keep within that time frame and that construct, because we're already pretty much at an hour, 15-ish or something.
Oh,
like
fuck.
That. Yeah.
I did not realize.
No, time goes by fast, but dude, one of your craziest character traits, and I don't even know you like that, but you are an incredible speaker. You can just keep going on and on and on and on about these down these wormhole type shits. And I'm not even joking, bro. When you were explaining the 111999 thing, and then you started talking about playing t-ball, and then your mom making you do art, dude, you're telling 6 different storylines. You were literally telling 6 different stories at once.
So my mom has bipolarism, and she talks like that. So I get that from her. Literally, like, I used to get in trouble so much in, like, school in general for talking too much. So that's when you remember seeing me being a TA for ASB, which is like just a stupid concept in the first place. Because, like, anybody in ASB could do anything that a TA does. You know, go make copies of this. He could ask anybody in the fucking room.
Were we in the same class?
Yeah.
No, we weren't.
You were in ASB, yeah?
My senior year,
yeah.
Your junior year?
Yeah.
You were not in that class. No, you weren't, bro.
I was, second semester, swear to God.
What?
I sat in the corner, and I played video games the whole period.
And Mr. Gotsu was the teacher.
Swear to God, yep. I'd sit in the corner and play video games.
Don't you think Mr. Gotsu would be great to have on here?
I love the man. I think that would be perfect.
How do we get
I
him
don't
on?
think... You would have to contact him, you know, personally, bro. You'd
How?
have to... What do you mean? He's got his...
I don't think
He's got his... He doesn't work there no more?
I'm pretty sure he does. No.
Oh.
No. There's no way.
You could look him up on Google because he was that author. He's
He's kind of big.
No, what was he?
The serial thing.
A publisher for a news article online.
That's what
Some
he did?
shit like that. Yeah. I don't know what it was. I think it was news. Yeah, I think he did, like, I don't know, takes on the news here and there for different things. I don't remember what it was, but it was like a pretty big news, like a magazine type shit. You know what I mean? It was huge.
It's crazy because he would understand directly where I'm coming from. Like, he would honestly probably, like, come on. That's the thing.
Totally. He would be down.
He would, like, really understand, like, oh, fuck, like...
He would be down, and honestly, he would be like...
He'd kill it.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Yeah, he would be interesting. He told me this one story one time that literally, like, just fucked me up. He was talking about consciousness. So there's, like, the iceberg, right? There's this, like, iceberg theory. And there's, like, the iceberg is what you see on top. Is just your consciousness. That's what you're aware of. Then there's the subconscious, which is underneath, right? It's all the unconscious things that you don't know you're doing, that you that you have the ability of knowing. You know what I mean? Like, a subconscious is like, it's in your brain, and if you tried hard to remember this and that, you know what I mean? Like, then you can remember details of certain things. Like, that's in your subconscious, from what I understand. And then the ocean that the fucking iceberg is in is the unconscious. That's everything that you will never know about. You know what I mean? Like, the ocean that is just tens of thousands the size bigger than the iceberg is just everything you will never know. Because there's just, like, so much knowledge out there that's unretainable after someone dies or after someone stops doing something that they started to do. You know what I mean? Like, there's a burnout of passion there that, like, I don't know, I feel, like, responsible on my own behalf to follow through with the things that, like, that I tell myself to do. As far as, like I said, being an author, having a clothing line, like, I don't know, it just feels like something that I could do. And I don't know why I didn't start doing it earlier. Because then I could have had a head start on everything. As, like, a 22-year-old, I feel like I'm unprepared because there's people that started earlier than me that are doing better for themselves. You know what I mean?
There's no way you got straight A's in high school.
What do you mean?
Did you?
I mean, like, not straight A's.
I feel like you didn't give a fuck. right?
Yeah, no, I gave no fucks about
Like,
high school.
did you get
But
F's, C's, and
it was
D's?
no. What it was is
Okay.
it was literally like I want to say 70% A's.
Okay, so you
I say
performed well.
I 80% A's.
Then yeah, you're
And
chilling.
then a couple of B's,
Then I got that completely wrong.
but I had a couple F's
Okay.
because I was that motherfucker that would just be like, no, I don't want to do this, and then just fail out the class. And I mean, it was like I didn't know how the system worked. I feel like there was so much that they didn't teach us in high school. It's just fucked up. I didn't know that there was a counselor that I could go to and change my schedule as a freshman. I did not know that. I thought that there was a certain point where you can't change the schedule. But you can do that pretty much fucking up until finals. You know what I mean? Like, you can really change your schedule at any point during the year. If you talk to your motherfucking counselor and be like, get me out of this class and put me in a different shit, they'll just have to catch you up, and it's obviously like an F still on your record. But I just didn't give a shit. I remember getting a F in computer applications because I was like, dude, Excel, this is retarded. When will I ever use this? And now at my job, I'm being trained to use Excel. I'm like, okay, well, I'm glad that I did pay attention to that shit. Because, I mean, I got an F, but then, obviously, I had to redo it. And I just did it on, the fucking credit recovery bullshit.
The thing is, you seem smart, though. Like, you're
Thank you.
definitely a
Thank
different being. You know what I mean?
That is something that I have got before. Because you said I look like I'm from a movie. I think that is some crazy talk. But I feel like I'm not afraid to make a fashion statement because I've been watching trends, I've been following this and that, and I like to dress how I like to look. You know what I mean? And that alone sets me aside from some other people who maybe were like me the majority of my life, where they didn't have the courage to wear something that was maybe a little bit more feminine, or something that was maybe a little bit punk rock, or you know what I mean, like, something a little bit bougie, because I don't know what my style is, and it depends on the occasion, and it's like, I don't know, my mom raised me to dress to impress, so I think that being an influence on the art and me wanting to like design clothes, like I remember there was a kid that was like 2 or 3 years older than us. I don't remember his name or anything really about him. He was a Hispanic fellow that was like a fashion designer, like in senior year. He was like designing clothes that were like still like being made, and I was like, dude, that's fucking sick. I wish I was there. I wish I was at that point in time. That would be ideal. But I'm working myself to get to that point in the near future so that I'm not any more behind the game than I already am.
Do you feel like you're catching up to the game?
I'm damn close to it.
Nice,
Yep,
man.
I'm fucking damn close to it. It's like I work as hard as I can, and that's the first time in my life that I've ever done that. Because like you said, I mean, I didn't take high school seriously, so I didn't really put a whole lot of effort into it.
That's not a diss.
No, I mean, it's the facts of the world. I mean, it's just a fact. So I'm not gonna sit up here and fucking lie, bro. It just feels like I always was a little different. And I know that's fucking corny, but I just felt like I was like, there's something I need to do one day that I need to like make it so that people remember who I am. And in an essence, And I know that now a book is the way to go, because that is the best way to get your mind out. But for now, it's just, you know, paintings and drawings and like clothing. Like for the t-shirts for Issacore, it's gonna be it's embroidered 111999 over the heart, and then I'm painting on the back, and then he's paying me for it. It's about $12 a t-shirt. I mean, $15 a t-shirt about, and I mean, he's buying 6 t-shirts. You feel me? It's just starting small. It's order based. If you hit me up, I will fucking hook you up.
Do you have t-shirts already?
No, I don't. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I don't have t-shirts already, but if you hit me up, we can get a little deal set up. Like, as long as you give me creative freedom, because that is what I'm big on, and that's why me and Issacore's little deal worked out. I was like, how do you want them to look? And he said, you do you, bro.
Okay, so
I was like,
every shirt's different.
Yeah, no, every t-shirt, every 6 t-shirt, you know, he's getting 6 t-shirt. Every t-shirt is gonna be different.
Okay. I'm either down. I'm down to buy one off you, or I can also trade you one of mine for one of yours. But yours are probably doper than mine. Because I did make some t-shirts.
We could see.
But I'll buy one off you, bro.
The other thing that I started doing during quarantine is custom shoes. So like color blocking for me is like my little realm that I've been in. I want to move out into like studying and like this and that for shoes. Specifically leather shoes like Air Force Ones, Air Max 90s, things that are all black or all white. You know, if you buy the shoes, I can do the painting on them, and then you have a one-of-a-kind shoe. There will be nobody else outstepping with your drip. It'll be exclusive, one-of-a-kind sort of thing. And so I made one pair of Air Force Ones. I did, like I said, an Air Max 90s, and I did them with different shoes. They're different colors. So I don't know if you've ever seen shoes where they look like different colors, but it looks like you got 2 fucking shoes from 2 different pairs on, and it looks fucking retarded. So now the move is to buy the same exact pair and do the inverted colors, so that I have a pair of reds, a pair of blues that have, you know, the same design on both shoes. If you understand what I'm saying. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So they're inverted. One's red, one's blue, and then I'm making a second pair where there's the partner for each of them, so there'll be a pair of reds and a pair of blues.
So you're buying 2 different sets of shoes, or one
I
pair
can
of
show you
shoes
real
that's
quick.
just like...
It's literally, so I did those 2 pairs, and then my friend that I met in Oregon, and he's one of my close friends. That's the pair.
Oh, so those colors are actually inverted.
When you put those shoes on, you feel like a clown because your shoes are different colors.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm gonna make a second pair where the color inversion is the other way around, so that there's a pair of blues and a pair of reds.
Got it.
And then I did a pair for my buddy, and he was so happy with them that he told me he was going to get married in them. And it took me maybe I want to say 4 weeks. Probably took me 4 weeks to do. And, you know, if it's all white and it's all black and it's leather or pleather, I can do it. I'd use pens because that's it's just like, you know, just like a pencil. It's easy shit. Use acrylic pens and then leather clear coat. It keeps it sealed so that you can literally like step out in the rain and the paint won't run. and it's a fun hobby to do, but it's expensive. So I totally understand, you know, if you don't want to spend like $100 on a pair of shoes, some people don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
But for the people that do, if you want to spend an extra $50 just to have a custom pair, then you can contact me in the DMs, and god damn it, I will get you that shit.
Dude, so we end on that note, bro. I appreciate you coming out here. You said a lot of dope shit, bro. Dude, definitely contributed to a fun Sunday night.
I enjoyed myself thoroughly.
This you honestly, bro, you did, like, this is like the definition of like my ideal Sunday podcast nights.
Yeah, Sunday, I don't do Sunday shit. Just relax. We just kicked it all day. We just drove around, looked at the beach. It'd been almost a year since we went to the beach, like both of us on separate occasions.
It's October.
Yeah. But yeah, this was fucking tight,
bro. Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you, bro. That was fun, guys, honestly.
Yeah.
Like I said, amazing way to end my Sunday, for real.